Hi everyone, it's Emmis here. I just wanted to do a quick video on dressing up some of the print and then cut images that you get off the Cricut Explore. It can be used to dress up any print and cut images off your die cutting machine, of course. And when you do cut them out, it's a great way to make quick cards, easier than piecing together loads of different bits of patterned paper and so on. If you're in a hurry, or even if you just like that look, it's absolutely wonderful. But they do look very flat and uninteresting. When I first started printing and cutting, which is only in the last couple of days, I was a bit dismayed when I printed out because I saw these black, really thick lines and I thought, ooh, that's not going to look good. But in fact, when you cut them out, that blurry looking vase, which is from the Pagoda cartridge, you can see that there's a bleed line, so it actually cuts around it so that there isn't a white border showing, which is something that I absolutely love. I hate the white border effect. It looks like those rather cheap stickers that you get. But the finished result does mean that they can look quite flat. And I've been playing around and dressing them up. This is a Mickey image that probably is going to go on my little grandson Monty's Valentine's card. And here I just dressed up Minnie with a little bit of coarse glitter and so on. You can see how well it cuts. Those little tails are absolutely fantastic, I think. Here's another one from the Forever Young cartridge, and that's half made into a card. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with the sentiment yet, but you can see how just adding a little bit of bling to her, and in particular popping her up with foam pads, that makes all the difference and adds some dimension to your cut. So here is the Pagoda cut, and you can see that I've added a little bit of glitter. I punched some flowers to put on top of the flower on the die cut, and just added some gems. And all I'm going to do with that is I'll show you the finished cards at the end of the video. I decided I cut a little bit of black cardstock, punched the edge with a Martha Stewart punch, and that is going to sit on there with a thank you sentiment that was also cut from the machine. I'll show you the finished cards. Now this is a robot cut that I thought would make a great Valentine's card for my 7-year-old grandson Max. What I've done here is I actually painted with silver paint these areas. I added a cog, I think it's Tim Holtz or something. The arms and legs of the robot have been given a coat of black enamel glossy accents. I added a little heart which I covered in glossy accents, and I added some metal brads to it as well. And again, I'm going to turn this into a card. I've cut a frame from the Fabulous Finds cartridge, some more little hearts and a grey base card. And I've printed a sentiment using the Explore. Happy Valentine to my favourite human. And that's going to go on. Again, I will show you the finished card at the end of this video. Here's another cut, which I've just dressed up with some glitter again. And what I'm going to do with this one is to add a happy birthday Cuttlebug sentiment, which I've brushed with the peacock, is it, distressing? And I'm going to just add some coral reef direct to another Cuttlebug image and apply that onto the card, and that's the only process that I'm going to make with that. So I'll show you the finished card in a minute. You don't need to see me making that. I just wanted to show you how effective these cats can look when they've been dressed up a little bit. And I'm always using foam pads on the back of them because that immediately lifts a rather flat looking image and gives it dimension. And you remember the balloon image that I showed you at the beginning, which looked so clunky? Well, here's what it looks like when it's cut out. Pretty fantastic. Look at those strings and everything, and all I've done with that is to add glossy accents to the balloons. And when you think that you would be cutting out all those little balloons in different colours and the base in black and so on and so forth, it really is a time saver, and you can make these flat die cuts look pretty marvellous when you just dress them up a little bit. So I'll go away now, finish the cards that I showed you, and come back and show you them. So here I am back again with the finished cards. I forgot to say that I haven't filmed the actual process of doing this print and cut because there are lots and lots of very wonderfully filmed videos on YouTube that explains the process very, very well. I haven't used SVG cuts or anything complicated. I've literally just started off by using the Cricut images. You'll have to excuse my voice. I'm at the tail end of a cold and I'm sounding a little bit snuffly, and also I've got very inky fingers. This is the birthday card that's turned out really effectively. Max's robot card that I think he will love. He's only 7 but he thinks he's 18. So I cut an inch off the edge of the card so that I could hang the tag over the end, and it will still fit into the envelope. So with the addition of a few bits and pieces, that robot doesn't look as though it's just a printed bit of paper at all. This is the pagoda vase and flowers, which again I don't think looks as though it's just a printed piece of paper. And you remember the balloons, my very first print and cut that I thought looked so clunky before I cut it out? Well, I've just made a very simple little card with that, added some memory box clouds, sponged a little bit of tumbled glass distress ink around for a sky, added a little bit of twine and popped the balloons, which have been covered with glossy accents, on with some foam tape. So I hope that's given you some ideas on dressing up your print and cut die cuts, and that you have real fun with this feature. I know I'm going to. I've got all sorts of ideas. So thank you very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye bye.